would you mind, could you just please give us a quick overview, your name, title, and a little bit about your background and your role today?
Hi everyone, I'm Arjan Stephens with Nature's Path Foods. I'm the second generation in our family-owned business, and I am a general manager here at Nature's Path and owner of Nature's Path, Cape Pasta, EnviroKids, and Love Crunch.
I assume most people know Nature's Path. However, could you give us just a little bit of an overview about the company and maybe primarily about kind of your mantra and mission?
Nature's Path has a very simple vision, which is to always leave the soil or the earth better than we found it. And here at Nature's Path, we sell always organic and only organic and non-GMO products. So we have a line of cereals, granolas, toaster pastries, waffles, tortilla chips, and some baking ingredients at the same time.
Thank you so much. Okay, and then next, let's talk a little bit about COVID, right? And so whether you want to focus on the economic impact, the health impact, but what we are really interested in hearing is how that's impacted Nature's Path and how your priorities may have shifted.
COVID-19 is unlike anything we've ever seen before as a food company. And I'd say that there is no new normal. Every day it's shifting and changing. Food companies like us are having to adapt and be flexible. Being adaptable and flexible is definitely part of our mantra of who we are. We're a very entrepreneurial company. And here at Nature's Path, while we have our strongly rooted values, COVID really allowed us to look at those values and distill them to three things. So during this COVID-19 crisis, we distilled our guiding principles into three things. First of all, it's about protecting and looking after our people. So everything we did as a food company and as a food manufacturer, first of all, was to look after our team members, make sure that they have the safest environment possible to work. We recognize them as being heroes in this fight, and coming into a factory every single day to make food while almost everyone else is at home in isolation takes a lot of bravery and courage. So we recognized all of our food heroes with a $2 per hour premium. This was close to a month ago now. In addition to that, we made sure that the food environment was actually even more hygienic and more clean than ever before. So we hired people just to go around to all the common areas throughout our food factories and clean them constantly. The second guiding principle that we have is around compassion. So understanding that there's so many school children out there that don't have access to school meals anymore, that there's many vulnerable seniors that have had a difficult time getting groceries, nurses and doctors working around the clock, not having a chance to go to the grocery store and wait in line. We wanted to recognize these essential workers, these vulnerable members of society, whether if they're young or old or just homeless. And Nature's Path made a $2.5 million commitment to support various food banks, old age homes, hospitals with food donations. So far in the first month of this year, we gave close to $700,000 worth of organic food to these different organizations, and we're going to continue forward with at least $2.5 million. The third guiding principle that we have is around being an essential service and our duty to continue supplying society with healthy, nutritious, organic food. So that's been our three guiding principles during this crisis, and our priorities shifted definitely around a lot of new products and innovation to making sure that our staples are in stock, and our staple cereals and granolas that consumers love and trust. We know that consumers more and more than ever before are looking towards brands that they have a traditional affinity towards, and also those brands that offer high nutritions for good value. So that's something that we've been focusing our value packed items, our larger size bulk items. Bulk items not being the ones that are sold in the bulk stores, because we've had to adjust very quickly based on a lot of retailers and states shutting those bulk common areas down, but to our bulk eco-pack items, for example, that offer great value to our customers and our consumers.
Thank you. That was wonderful. And as always, thank you so much for everything that your family and your company does. I mean, it is consistently always inspirational. A couple other quick questions for you. You did touch on how you're adjusting your planning and the approach during this. That was really helpful. The next part would be is how you're using data to support the planning and sales and marketing approach. Obviously I know that Nature's Path is a really data-driven company, but if you could speak to that.
At Nature's Path, we've used a lot of data during this crisis to understand where sales are growing. We saw during the early stages of COVID-19 that certain regions of the United States saw massive pantry loading and spikes right away. And then other states might have been delayed a week. Some customers spiked a couple weeks before other customers. So for us, it was really about, hey, we know that there's a lot of panic, there's a lot of fear, anxiety out there with our consumers. How can we make sure we're getting products to the right areas of the country at the right time? And while I think a lot of food manufacturers and grocers struggled mightily during this time, those companies that were able to use data and facts to be able to direct inventory and direct products to those regions and customers that saw sales spikes early were able to make sure that all regions of the country at least got some products. And that's something that we were able to do. And especially as we're getting back in stock with a lot of our products at this time. We are proud to partner with SPINS on multiple initiatives, whether that's launching new products and looking at data versus competition, to coming up with strategies, portfolio strategies for managing our very diverse mix of products that we offer. So SPINS gives us the chance to look at our hidden gems in our portfolio, those products that have very strong velocity, but maybe low distribution. Allows us to look at our competition and realize which products are vulnerable and aren't selling well, and allow us to craft that sales story to go out to retailers and show why we should be having an organic section of products, especially with our conventional retailers, and why Nature's Path is such a strong brand, and how, whether it's our new innovation or existing products, our shelf space should be expanded to reflect our always organic ethos.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Is there any advice that you would give to kind of smaller, more emerging brands, something that you kind of wish you knew, back in the beginning of Nature's Path, or any pitfalls to avoid, anything to really kind of focus on, say the positive, whatever advice, 2 cents that you could give as kind of a mentor would be really appreciated?
The advice that I think is most meaningful in today's world is that as an entrepreneur, starting off in the food business, emerging brands, be different, be yourself, be authentically yourself in terms of your brand and your brand story, different in the product offering you have. And with all the turmoil of COVID-19 right now, I would also give the advice that this too will pass. There's going to be huge continued demand for healthy, nutritious, and organic foods for years and years to come. So while Expo West was canceled, while there might be difficulty in getting retailer meetings due to COVID-19, know that if you can weather this, and as you weather this storm, yourself and the entire natural organic food industry is only going to grow stronger and stronger for years to come.
Thank you. That was so awesome. It was awkward not sharing my screen because I was like nodding emphatically at what you were saying. So thank you so much for taking the time.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah,
my pleasure, Susie.
I really appreciate it. We so value the partnership. Thanks
Cheers.
again. Keep doing all the good things that you're doing.
Thank you, Susie. Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.